everybody, it's Caroline here. I thought I would do a different type of video today, and that is a planning video showing you what I do at the end of the month when I still have some products left from one of the kits that I've been working with, and I've got a new kit to work with, and I want to make sure I get all of the goodness that I can out of one before I move on to another. So I thought I would show you my plan or my kind of process. So inside my planner I have a page each month where I have a log of the albums that I'm working in. So at the moment I've got 7 albums that I'm dipping in and out of, and then underneath that I write a list of the products that I work with, so the design team that I'm on, the kits that I purchase, or anything that I subscribe to. And then next to that I have the numbers 1 to 7, which correlate to these numbers 1 to 7 here, which refer to the albums. And then when I work in one of the albums with the kits, I just tick it off. So nice and simple. So I like to try to make sure that I work with as many kits as I can in all of the albums, so that I'm really stretching my stash and getting the most out of my money. So what I'm looking at today is the leftover pieces of the Citrus Twist Kits Slow Days collection. So this is the January collection. It's the first time I've bought the kit from Citrus Twist. I enjoyed working with it, so I have actually purchased the February one to give that one a go as well. So I've got some papers left, some journaling cards, and then these are the printable stickers, die cuts that I've got left. I actually printed these out twice, so you will see that some of these are duplicated. So that's why I've got a few of them a couple of kind of times. I printed them slightly differently, so they die cut in a slightly smaller size, but that's absolutely fine. So I'm going to take you through the process of how I pull together a couple of stories for this kit. I'm just going to remind myself what I didn't. So I haven't worked in my husband, I've got a story album for just my husband and I, so that's number 5, so I haven't worked in that one. I haven't worked in our family album or in my traveller's notebook. So that's three albums, 2 are 6x8 format and 1 is a traveller's notebook size. So I will just see what stories I can make from there. Step 1 in this process is to look through the papers and pull out the ones that I might struggle with the most. There is one that's really thematic for cookery that I've left, and I know I will struggle to use that, so I'm going to push myself to use that today or in this process of planning for a story for my family album. I'm planning on making some cassis with my mum, so I think that will be a good paper to utilise for that. And I'm now going to look at the journaling cards to see which I could pair with that piece. There's a Stay Home Club one here, which is a really good fit, and then I have another piece, another title card which looks lovely with that pink paper. So I'm already pulling together kind of 2 very different colour toned piles of product, which I'll be able, I don't know what stories I'm going to use. Like I said, probably the cassis for that one on the left, and not sure at all for the one on the right. So pulling out the journaling cards, popping them into those piles, so I have 1 card for each of those 2 pieces of paper, and now I'm going to pull out the rest of the papers to see what matches. So I know I want to use this theme paper, and I'm looking for paper that matches it. Knowing that I'd like to use that Stay Home Club, I think that kind of mustard colour, again one that I was going to struggle to use, would work really, really well with that because the colour is brought across the spread. I really like this light pink with the heart polka dot, so I'm going to use that and pair that with that red journal card that's saying make more time for fun or love and laughter, and I'll tell a story about my husband and I. I'm not sure what story at this point, but I know that I need to still tell a story with this kit for that album, so that sentiment and that heart paper works really, really well. Going back again now to the to that themed paper, I'm just looking and thinking I may want to add in that 6x4 journaling card. I could crop it down to a 3x4, and I've also added in a third piece of paper because until I know what photo I'm going to use, I'm not 100% sure whether I'm going to want the mustard card, the mustard paper, or I might want to use that one that's more of a die cut. It's got a bit of a frame to it. I could even cut out the frame, fussy cut it, and layer a big photo behind of my mum and I. So lots of different ideas, keeping it really, really flexible so that when I come to actually create, I've not locked myself down too much. I've not stifled my creativity. This process is going through all the die cuts. I've kept them stored and segmented into icons, word bits and journaling spots. So I'm just going through, and at this point I'm looking for colour matches. So I've already got a colour palette for each. For that left hand pile, it's that mustard and a multicolour, and then for the side on the right hand side, it's the pink, the teal and the red. So I'm just pulling out journaling spots that match those colours, and then any sentiments that might tell a story. So I know it's going to be something kitchen orientated with my mum for our family album on the left, and then the right hand side is going to be something for my husband and I. And there's lots of sentiments left in these die cut pieces, such as at ease, love, laughter, with you, that kind of thing. We've been away recently in our little camper van a few times, so really, I've got lots of stories, lots of photos, lots of stories to tell about our time in our little camper, our little home away from home, how it's nice to get cosy in her when it's frosty outside. We pop our little heater on and we're still really toasty and lovely. So I know there's going to be a story in there that I can use these products for. So it's taken me no time at all to get 2 really big piles of products for 2 great stories using up the rest of this kit. Okay, so I have these 2 pouches with products in, one to tell a story about being away in our camper van, and one to tell the story about making cassis with my mom, so spending some mom-daughter time. It's very likely that I'm not going to use all of the die cuts that I've put into each of these packs. As I said, I've got some duplicates that I know I'm not going to use. It just depends which of the more vibrant, whether I want to use the more vibrant printout or the slightly duller tone. So fantastic. So I'm going to have some of those extra, but then leftovers to go into my stash or to use for that traveller's notebook. I have enough by far still to use for a traveller's notebook there. This 6x4 I could cut down or cut out, could even cut it into strips. And this one is the one I already cut out. So there's definitely something I'll be able to do with that. I might even be able to trim this down to traveller's notebook size. What would that look like? Yeah, I could trim that down to traveller's notebook size and then have that pocket open still there, and have some of these kind of layered underneath, and then something on the top as well. So lots of different options to make the use out of all of this. This is a printable collection, so I could print out as many times as I want to, but because I have already used the ink on this, and the paper, I don't want to waste it, so I want to use as much of it as I can. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this different kind of planning video, and I can do something like this again. If you've liked this, please give it a thumbs up and please subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.